Oh, hi, everybody. It's Lisa. Today, I wanted to film a little video to show you how I go about deciding what um, what to do in a journal or for a new journal, how to go about figuring out what you want to do. So, I said before, I think that I wanted to start working on a journal that encompasses recipes that my kids like. Now, I have a recipe book journal type thing, and then my mother made this for me when I moved out, and it was all the recipes that she knew I liked. Basically it was her, you know, cooking and my grandmother's cooking. So this isn't even part of the book, but it has all these handwritten recipes. The first part is all my mother's handwriting, and then the rest is my mess. And I have like all different things in here, and it's obviously well loved and used heavily. There's all kinds in here. Now, the problem is, it is pretty full. There are some pages that are still blank, just a few left. And that's from one of my kids. They got a hold of it when they were little and scribbled throughout. And I still use the scribble. I don't care. I'll still use it. But then on Mother's Day, my mom did this for me and my sister, where she wrote down every single recipe that she had in her repertoire and gave it to us. And I use this sometimes, but anything that I pretty much use on a daily, monthly, weekly basis is in here. Now, I also keep all these other, sorry, I just hit the camera again. All these other recipes and stuff I throw in here that I just jot down from the internet or whatever. If they're worth saving, I stick them in here. Now, what you can tell, this makes a big mess. And, I don't know how many times I've lost recipes because of that. So, needless to say, I definitely want to not necessarily organize all this. I want to do a whole nother journal of recipes that I have since then have incorporated in my daily cooking. My daughter since has gone gluten free. Pretty much she's dairy free and tomato free. So there are recipes that I have made that I've had on a normal basis, like take for example meatloaf. I used to put the ketchup stuff on top, or sometimes I would do like tomato, like the sauce inside, put tomatoes, put ketchup inside with the meat. I can't do any of that anymore. I can't use breadcrumb. Even for meatballs, I can't use the bread like I used to. So that's where these all have to be redone. The ones I use on a normal basis, plus the ones that I've found since they were growing up. There's different recipes that I use that my mother never made. Um, I don't think she was a big casserole person, whereas I am. Um, so that's a whole nother thing. My mother always made, where there was, a starch, a vegetable, and a protein of some sort. So I don't necessarily cook that way anymore because my kids don't like that. There's only one of my kids that'll eat that out of the three. So it's very rare that I do that. So I really wanted to get another journal going that has all those recipes that they like and all the recipes that have been altered and how they've been altered and any other ideas and stuff that I never knew when I moved out per cooking. Just like I wrote down all these ideas of how to, I was trying to make, this looks terrible. I was trying to figure out how the wording would look and if I'd put a border around it and what kind of border and all that. And then I went into writing down the recipes that I know that they eat. And then here are the spice blends that you can make on your own. You don't have to go buy taco seasoning packets, even though that's what my mother did all those years. And I never knew it until I read her recipes. So, oh, sorry about that. So that's what I was trying to sitting here thinking, what recipes do my children eat? And then there's recipes like the mashed potatoes here. I had to alter dairy free. So I had to figure that out. How to hard boil eggs, and how to actually make rice. They were a big thing. I had no idea. I still had to call my mother up until maybe, I don't know, maybe 7 years ago. I had to still call her to find out how to hard boil eggs because mine never would turn out right. So I wanted them to be able to go somewhere and just look it up real quick. Sometimes I think it's easier to have this stuff written down in one spot than to have to go through 500 different things on Google to figure it out. And then you get 500 different ways to go about doing it. So that's how I thought I'd start. My husband just found this journal from his work. He got it for something, I don't remember what. So I was like, this looks like good recipe pages to me. So I was trying to find paper that would look good in the recipe book. Also, I have this whole thing here that are filled with basically the dyed papers, coffee stain papers, colored papers, colored coffee stains, whatever papers. And I'm not going to use these, but some of these are, I forget what it's called, where you take the leaves and you dye the paper with the leaves. I don't know, I want to save them for something, but they're eco printing, it's called. So I do have some papers, but I love onion skin dyeing papers. So I think I'm going to do that for it. I bought some red onions, so hopefully that'll give me a cool colored paper. And I'm sure you've seen many people do that. Sorry about the mess. I'm still working on this blue book and all that, but this was just to come on and say hello. And I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but the smoke, there's the smoke from the Canadian wildfires and down in my neck of the woods again. I think it's like through half of the United States. So all those people being affected, please stay safe. Stay indoors if you can. Don't go breathing all this noxious fumes. And work on something fun. And that's all for today. I hope you have a great weekend. Oh, and next week is our Independence Day, July 4th, which I cannot believe is July 4th already. But I'm sure I will be on here before that. And if you just want to hang out, want to come somewhere safe, come to the channel and hang out, subscribe, and enjoy your time here. I will see you on the next video. Thanks for being here. See you later.